Flukey Stokes, that is, the legend of the south side of Chicago. He was the head of the largest single independent drug operation in Chicago history.
Who was Flukey Stokes, the king of the south side Chicago? William Morris Flukey Stokes was a notorious American mobster who gained infamy in the city of Chicago, Illinois. Born on December 12, 1937, Stokes was known for his involvement in drug trafficking and organized crime. He rose to become one of the most prominent figures in the city's underworld during the 1970s and the 1980s. Stokes began his criminal career in his teenage years when he started working as a pimp and drug dealer on the city's south side. Over time, he built a network of associates and loyal followers, and he soon expanded his operations to include gambling and loan sharking. His reputation for violence and rootedness earned him the respect of other criminals in the area, and he became a feared figure in the city's criminal underworld. Despite his criminal activities, Stokes was often seen as a Robin Hood figure in his community. He was known for his generosity and philanthropy, and he frequently donated money to local charities and community organizations. He was also known for his flamboyant fashion sense, and he often wore expensive suits and jewelry. However, Stokes' criminal activities eventually caught up with him. In 1986, he was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in city's Bronxville neighborhood. He was hit by multiple bullets, including one of that struck him in the mouth and another hit him in the chest. He died shortly after arriving at a nearby hospital. Stokes' death was widely believed to be the result of a power struggle within the city's criminal underworld. Some speculated that he had been targeted by rival gangs or associates who were jealous of his wealth and influence. Others believed that he had been killed by members of his own organization who were unhappy with his leadership. Regardless of the circumstances of his death, Stokes remained a notorious figure in Chicago history. His life and legacy continued to the subject of fascination and study, and his story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of life of crime. Earl Wilson was convicted of murdering Willie Flukey Stokes, and it's not clear who actually shot Stokes, but Wilson was found guilty of the crime and faces mandatory life term. Stokes was a notorious gangster in the 1960s and 70s who was known for his involvement in various criminal activities, including gambling, drug trafficking, and extortion. In his murder in 1986, wounds to his mouth, chest on November 19, 1986. His body was laid to rest in private burial service attended by his family and close associates. The details of his burial, including funeral arrangements and the location of his grave, have not been made in public. However, it's known that the Oakwood Cemetery is the final resting place of the many notable figures from Chicago history. Willie Stokes garnered international notoriety for the arrangements he made for his son, Willie the Wimp's funeral. The younger Stokes followed his father's example, trafficking narcotics, and rivaled his dad's appetite for gambling. Flukey said of his son, "He was a fine young man, he was very well liked and he did a lot of gambling." Willie the Wimp was buried in a custom-designed casket made to resemble Cadillac Seville. At his viewing, he was propped up in a coffin with his hands on his steering wheel. The casket had functional headlights and taillights that blinked, white wall tires, and a windshield and a vanity license plate that read Wimp Stokes. Nickname: he wore a flaming red suit, a Yankee gray hat, and diamond rings. Several $100 bills stuck out from between his fingers.